G'day guys, Joel here from Measured Gaming. Today I'm joined by Tyson. How you going, Tyson? We're playing a 2,000 point game today, not Nighthaunt, Legions of Grief, that's the one, versus Stormcast Eternals in Knife to the Heart 2019. So this is what the table looks like. This is what the armies look like. Sorry, not sorry. First up, I'm going to explain through my army. So we've got a Drakesworn Templar as the general. Zoom in a bit. Drakesworn Templar as a general. He has Staunch Defender, Ignax's Scales, and Thunderlord as his command trait. His mount trait, rather. We've got a Knight Azeros, who's being proxied by a Knight Venator because someone decided to borrow my model and not ever use it. And then same thing for the Comet there. That's Maelstrom, which is acting as a Comet. We've got a Knight Incanter with Celestial Blades, I think the spell's called, +1 to wound. A Knight Heralder, a Castellant with his Griffhound, 2 units of 5 Liberators, one with Sword and Shield, one with double hammers and big hammer, 5 Judicators, and then 6 Desolators. Comes to 1980. And Tyson, do you want to explain what's in your list, mate?
Yeah, so I've got Knight of Shrouds on foot, Knight of Shrouds on steed, who's the general with the Vassal of the Craven King and the Aether Quartz Brooch. Reikenor, unit of 8 Banshees, unit of 30 Grimghast, unit of 20 Harridans, and then 20 Chain Rasps, and a Necromancer.
And a Penumbral Engine.
And a Penumbral Engine, because this army is very command point thirsty.
Lovely. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and roll off the table sides and deployment, and we'll be back. Yeah, this is what the table looks like. So we got the Incanter just chilling off to the side here on arcane terrain. We've got the Star Drake tailing off mystical terrain, which is where most of my army is deployed anyway. 5 lives just holding on to that objective for dear life for the time being. The 5 Judicators obviously in the back there as well with the Castellant and the Heralder. Then over here, grave sites. One's here, one's in the middle of the table, one there, with the objective being there. Is that a gravesite as well? Nah, cool. All right. Yeah, all good. So I got 20 Rasps here. His Banshees are holding his objective with the Necromancer next to the engine. 20 Chain Rasps strung, another 20 strung, Reikenor, and his general up the back here. And you've got, 30 Grims and your 20 Harridans in the grave. And I've got my 6 Desolators, the Azeros, and 5 Liberators off the table. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of a tactics thing now. I'm gonna go first. I'll send Tyson to go and do something, and I'll talk about what the plan is. Yeah, guys. So the plan of attack for this game is to sort of just hopefully be able to drop the Comet somewhere to start tagging his heroes. So Comet with its same range gets to roughly about here, and between that and the Star Drake, I want to try and pip his general. Maybe a couple of his other little heroes like the Necromancer or something. I really don't want the Necro on the table when the Grims and the Harridans come in, because Van Hells will absolutely fuck me up. Now I am, however, running a very defensive sort of build with Staunch Defender, so I'm hoping that my guys will actually be able to weather the storm of all the sort of 1 damage attacks with only sort of like neg 1 rend. I want to get the Drax on the table probably turn 2, I think, because it's just a waste sending them in here now. I could potentially just put the Drax into his front lines there now, but I don't think there's much of a point in doing so. I want to be able to counter drop his Grimghast or his Harridans with them. I'm confident that the Drakesworn Templar will be able to tank a unit of those as well. Whether or not he can kill them fast enough is another story. So what I've got to really do is try and just defend my objective and go for his late game. I think that's pretty much it. So I just want to try and snipe out some synergies, try and whittle down some units. He can have the grave sites, I don't really care, because hopefully all my shit's just not going to get taken off straight away, because Nighthaunt models, they don't have the craziest damage output. So anyway, we'll we'll see how we go. Fingers crossed for the Stormcast on this one, guys. It should be fun.
All right, so I've gone for a very, very defensive, blocky deployment. I've kept my 2 big units in the grave. Hopefully, I get the first turn and I can take use of either this or this grave site and maybe get a charge off. And then if I can instill myself on that grave site, we might be good to continue going, but we'll see how we go. Failing that, I'm happy to just turtle down. I'm really hoping that Joel actually takes first turn and we get a couple of his units out of the sky so I know where they're going and I know how to, I know what I'm going to be, where they're going to be on the table, so I can try and get some people into position to deal with them. But we'll just see how we go. I probably deployed my heroes too far back, but they do have a huge amount of movement, so I'm hoping that we can push them forward and get them in range for some 5+ saves. So I've got to keep the Necromancer back around the objective and swamp it with guys and just hope that I've got substantially more bodies than he can produce, and be able to just keep recurring them and bring them back. And we'll see how we go. I'm hoping to be able to grind him out and push forward with some of my bigger units. Hopefully I can lock the Drax up in combat with the Reapers or the Harridans. Have them eat a couple of turns of shooting and then just bring them back. But we'll see how we go. All right.
Rightio, guys. So I actually managed to drop first with 9 drops compared to Tyson's 10. I'm actually going to give him the first turn, I think. And we'll see how we go. So best of luck, mate.
Same to you, mate. Good stuff.
And we'll get cracking. Just before Tyson charges, what's he done? He's just sort of shuffled around. He got a Mystic Shield off, rolled a 1 on the Penumbral Engine, got Van Hel's off on these Chain Rasps, and then brought in his 30 Grimghast from that grave site to threaten these guys. They're 10 inches away. And then he brought in his Harridans over here to try and kill my wizard. So he needs to roll some 9-up charges, but we'll be back after his combat phase. No, well, that was uneventful, so he failed both of his charges, so it'll be Stormcast turn 1. Just before my charge phase, what have I done? Stardrake got lanterned by the Castellan. He also got tooted by the Heralder. The Comet went off and did some mortal wounds over here. It's killed a couple of Banshees, did a wound to his general, 3 to the Necromancer, 3 to the other Knight of Shrouds. Killed off some more dudes. And then, what else happened? Stardrake pretty much whiffed all of his Rain of Star rolls. And then
1 wound to the general.
We dropped the Desolators down. They killed 8 Grimghasts with their shooting. Judicators whiffed their wound rolls. Stardrake
missed.
Yeah. The Azeros is down on the terrain piece as well. That's pretty much that. So we'll be back after my charges. End of my turn. Failed my charges. Didn't want to spend the CP. So we're just going to go into the priority roll, and then the Comet's going to do its thing.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Righto. I get a 5. Tyson gets a 5. He can keep turn order if he wants to.
He certainly will.
Cool. All right, I'll explode the Comet, and then you can have a turn. All right. So just before Tyson charges, what's he done? He moved Raikkonen up. You rolled a 1 on the engine again, so you're still re-rolling saves of 1. Grimghast have moved up. They're going to be 3 away from the Dracoths. These Harridans, they moved up. They're 9 inches away from the Incanter. And these guys moved up. They're going to be 3 away from the Azeros, but they're going to need a 5-inch charge because of that piece of terrain, which is what ultimately fucked my Stardrake's charge earlier.
Certainly did.
And you just moved the general sort of away a bit. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. So we're going to go into charges and we'll be back after Tyson's turn. Okay, end of Tyson's turn. What happens? He made this charge. I killed, 8, 7 chain rasps. He did 2 wounds to the Azeros. And then he did 1 wound to the Drax. And then they killed all the Grimghast Reapers. So it'll be my turn too. Just before I do some charges, what happened? I lanterned the Drax. And I tooted the Drax. They ran up here, 15 inches, 3 inches away from Raikkonen. Adjudicators turned around to shoot on these guys and killed a couple. The Libs just moved up. Star Drake moved up. He killed another couple with his Thunderlord ability. The Xeros popped his lantern and killed 6 chain rust. And then my last 5 Liberators dropped over here 9 away from the Banshees. That's pretty much my turn. So, well, I've got to do charges and we'll be back. End of my turn. What happened? Drax killed Reikenor, but Reikenor did kill one of the Dracos, even though they're lanterned. These guys made their charge. They killed a couple of Banshees and the Banshees whiffed against them. Over here, there's only 2 chain rust left with the Xeros.
Oh, did you want to charge with that Gryph-hound, or you just want to...
No, he's just there to annoy you. So yeah, the little Gryph-hound there is just blocking space, just so he has to go around. So roll for priority for turn 3. This is a big turn here. I get a 6, you get a 2. I'm going to take the turn. I don't auto win, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of work over here, but I think it's game over. We'll keep playing anyway. Alright guys, so that's game over. The Drax just shot off all the Banshees, and I don't have to do anything else in my turn to be able to win the game. So that's that. Major victory to Stormcast. Tyson, how'd you think that went?
Look, it could have gone better.
Yeah.
Those Dracos, I really severely underestimated their output.
Yeah.
They're absolute beasts.
Yeah.
And I had to spend so much time with these units zoning stuff out because it was so easy for him to just sneak stuff in.
Yeah, well, because starting these guys off the table means that you have to really ask yourself or answer a few questions, whether or not you're screen off your backfield or your front or whatever.
But even those libs that you held in Deep Strike till start of turn 3, meant that I couldn't really move these guys out.
Yeah. Because
they either had a front line to the general or a front line to the objective. Those guys, the Harridan's failing every single opportunity to make a charge and actually do something in the game really hurt. Yeah, well, look, you can't be relying on 9-inch charges. Like, it was nice that I got this, but in reality, I didn't actually need it at the end of the game. No. But, and I mean, I wasn't relying on it, but yeah, it just would have been nice. Yeah. If they'd done something more than just scare all your stuff forward. Yeah. I was quite happy that they came out over here because I could just sort of kite them and just do a couple of chip wounds here and there. I think one thing that you could have done differently was your deployment. So have one unit screening off your edge, but then have a unit of 20 on your objective as well, just so it was a bit harder for me to try and kill off the... Yeah, I pushed that unit of 20 chain rasps up because I thought that a unit of 20 would be able to kill the Azeros and maybe even your caster, but not when they've got a re-rolling one-up saves and bullshit. It's not going to happen. Stormcast, mate. You need mortal wounds to kill these motherfuckers. And that's the thing, this list has very little mortal wound output. Very, very little. Yeah. Reikenor, he killed a Dracoth, which was nice. Yeah, the mortal wounds on a 6 to hit, quite nice. Yeah. Considering that he missed his other 3 attacks. It was just enough to do it, wasn't it? Star Drake did nothing all game. Yeah, Star Drake really did nothing. But what he did do, though, was force you away from this sort of midfield area because you obviously didn't want to engage with him. So he could basically just sort of go wherever he wanted to. Didn't have anything to engage with him. Yeah, that's true. I didn't really think that with a 4+ unrenderable save and a 6+ after save that 30 Grimghast would just be raped in a turn by 6 Dracoths. It's the 2 damage. It makes up for you passing half of the saves statistically. Yeah, absolutely. I didn't pass half. No, you didn't. You rolled like dog shit. But that save roll was bloody horrendous. But even still, I just really was not prepared to lose that unit so cheaply and accomplish nothing with them. Yeah, they did like 1 wound. Yeah, they actually did 1 wound in total. So that's my big damage punchy unit that did 1 wound to a Dracoth. The turn that they were down and then just died. Yep. So.
Look, that's the thing with the army that I'm running at the moment is it's really hard to kill. So that's the idea. Even though it's got low bodies, it just doesn't shift easily.
I would have liked to have seen how it went against the Sylvaneth, but don't leave treatment at home is the message.
Yeah, I actually thought you were going to be bringing your Fire Slayers today, so I'm glad that you didn't.
They are still in disrepair.
Yeah.
So when I've got about 15 more chains to put back on.
Okay.
When that's back on, you'll see them up again.
Yeah, that sounds good. All right, well, I think we've waffled on long enough. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks again for the game, Tyson.
No worries, mate. Always a pleasure.
And I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Please like the video, subscribe, and all that shit as what other YouTubers tell you to do at the end of their videos. Catch us later.